This is your moment. This is your day. This is your game. And there's only one opponent, you. The greatest enemy you've ever faced was never out there. It was never the world. It was never other people. Your greatest enemy has always been inside you. That voice that says, not today, not now, I'll do it later. The voice of doubt, fear, and procrastination. That voice has kept you stuck. That voice has stolen your discipline. That voice has delayed your life. But now I ask you, until when? How many times have you promised to change? How many times have you said you'd start but never did? Enough. The waiting is over. The doubt is over. The excuses are over. Today you make a choice. Today you step into battle. Jake Tyler knows this. He's been in this exact moment before. He postponed, he doubted, he listened to that voice saying, not now. Every time he thought about taking action, something held him back. Insecurity, fear of failure, the feeling that he wasn't ready yet. He told himself he needed more time, that he had to wait for the perfect opportunity, but time kept passing, and nothing changed. Mornings became the same. Days felt repetitive. His dreams seemed further away, and every time he put off his decision, he became a prisoner of his own mind. But one day, Jake realized something. He realized no one was coming to save him. He realized the only person who could change his life was himself. And in that moment, at that exact instant, everything changed. The doubt was still there. The fear still whispered. But this time, he chose to act anyway. He knew it wouldn't be easy. He knew there were no guarantees. But he understood that the biggest mistake he could ever make was staying in the same place. And you? Are you going to keep listening to doubt? Or are you going to act? It will always be you versus you. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to achieve something great. But few are willing to pay the price, because the price is high. The price is pain. The price is sacrifice. You say you want to change, but are you really willing to do whatever it takes? Are you ready to wake up earlier while everyone else is sleeping? Are you ready to keep going when your body tells you to stop? Are you ready to stay disciplined when no one is watching? Because here's the truth. Most people quit before they even start. They talk about dreams, but they don't want the work that comes with them. They want the top, but they don't want to climb. They want the glory, but they don't want the fight. They want the title, but they don't want the journey. But you, what do you really want? Jake Tyler also thought he wanted to win. He said he wanted more out of life. He said he wanted to move forward. But every time it was time to take action, he hesitated. He kept waiting for the perfect moment, but the perfect moment never came. He wanted to change, but without leaving his comfort zone. He wanted to grow, but without feeling the pain of the process. He wanted to reach the top, but without paying the price. And that's how he spent years waiting, watching the days go by, watching life move forward without him, until one day he realized the truth. Time doesn't wait. Either he made a decision, or he would spend the rest of his life watching others achieve what he dreamed of. And in that moment, Jake made his decision. He understood there were no shortcuts, no magic formula. There was only one thing: hard work. And you? When will you realize this? When will you finally decide that you're ready to pay the price? Because if you're not willing to suffer for what you want, then you don't really want it. Everybody wants to reach the top, but few are willing to take the journey. Because the journey isn't easy. The journey requires sacrifice. The journey requires resilience. And here's a truth most people don't want to hear. Success isn't about talent. It's not about luck. It's not about having the best conditions. Success is about discipline. It's about doing what needs to be done every single day. Even when you're tired, even when you're frustrated, even when no one is watching. And this is where most people fail. Because at the beginning, it's easy. You're motivated. You feel that rush of energy, that excitement. But after a while, motivation disappears. What's left then? Discipline or excuses? Most people quit because they want quick results. They want rewards without effort, but the top isn't handed to you. The top is earned. And you? Do you have the discipline to keep going even when you don't see progress? Jake Tyler learned this the hard way. He started his journey full of energy, with goals, with plans, but after a few weeks, nothing seemed to change. He trained, studied, worked hard, but the results weren't coming. And then that voice came back. This isn't working. Maybe you're not good enough. Maybe you should just give up. And for a moment, he believed it for a moment. He thought about walking away. But then he realized something. Everyone wants to quit when it gets hard. Everyone feels like stopping when they don't see results. But only those who keep going, even when progress is invisible, are the ones who win. Because there's a cycle of success that nobody talks about. At the beginning, you feel excited. You believe everything will change quickly, but soon reality hits. Progress is slow. Results take time. And at that moment, most people quit. But Jake decided he would be different. He wouldn't stop. He would train even when he was exhausted. He would work even without motivation. He would keep going even with no guarantees. Because he understood one thing. Success doesn't happen overnight. Success is the sum of small daily victories. It's the result of the invisible work that nobody sees. Do you want to be great? Then stop looking for shortcuts. Because success isn't about feeling like it. It's about doing what needs to be done. The weak wait to feel motivated. The strong just execute. Now tell me, are you going to keep waiting for the perfect moment? Or will you act no matter how you feel? You've heard this before, get into beast mode. But let me tell you a truth. This isn't about beast mode. This is about life or death. Because if you don't fight for what you want, someone will hire you to build their dream. If you don't take what's yours, someone else will take your place. And in this game, there are only two types of people. Those who wait and those who act. Those who make excuses and those who make it happen. Now tell me, which one are you? Most people quit before they even find out what they're truly capable of. They feel pain and they stop. They feel tired and they stop. They hit an obstacle and they decide it's not worth it. But who said pain means you should stop? Who said exhaustion means you should give up? If you're feeling pain, that's a sign. It means you're growing. It means you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And that's the difference between the weak and the unstoppable. The weak complain. The unstoppable keep going. The weak look for shortcuts. The unstoppable do whatever it takes. The weak run from pain. The unstoppable find strength in it. Jake Tyler had quit before. He knew this feeling all too well. Starting something, getting excited, then slowing down. The same story, the same pattern, but something inside him changed. This time he refused to accept another failed attempt. He realized that if he wanted to change, he couldn't allow any more excuses. He couldn't stop at the first obstacle. So he made a pact with himself. No matter what happens, I won't stop. He got up even when he had no motivation. He trained even when his mind said, take a break. He worked on his goals when no one was watching, because he understood that success isn't a moment. Success is a lifestyle. And you? Are you going to keep settling for mediocrity? Or will you decide that, from this day forward, you never stop? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who tried to discourage you. It doesn't matter who doubted you. It doesn't matter who said you wouldn't make it. The only thing that really matters is you versus you, because no one can train for you. No one can study for you. No one can sacrifice for you. Success is lonely. The journey is yours. And the only person who can stop you is you. So tell me, what's holding you back right now? Is it the fear of failure? Insecurity? The opinions of others? Because if that's the case, let me tell you a secret. Failure is an illusion. Defeat only exists if you accept it. The only way to lose is to quit. And you know who wants you to quit? That voice in your head. That voice that says you've done enough. That voice that wants you to stay comfortable, weak, and average. But today you're going to silence that voice. Jake Tyler has been in this exact moment before. He's heard that voice. He's been controlled by it. He's had days when he thought it wasn't worth continuing. But one day he realized something. He wasn't competing against anyone else. He didn't have to prove anything to others. He had to prove it to himself. And that day, everything changed. He stopped looking around, stopped comparing himself, stopped seeking approval, and started doing what needed to be done. And you? Are you going to keep listening to that voice that holds you back? Or are you finally going to fight against it? Because in the end, there are no excuses. There are no shortcuts. There are no second chances. There is only you, that's you. Now the choice is yours. You can keep living the same way, waiting for the right moment, making excuses, hiding behind fear. Or you can make a decision that changes everything. A decision that separates the talkers from the doers, the dreamers from the achievers. Jake Tyler made his choice. He decided he would never back down again. He would never accept less than he deserved. And now it's your turn. Life won't wait for you. Time won't slow down. The world won't make things easier. So tell me, what are you going to do now? Because in the end, there is only one battle to be won, and that battle is you versus you.